Hi, and it's great to have you back. So in this video, we're going to talk about what happens if you have a server and you use default credentials. Now, even though that you might think the credentials are great and fine, and they seem like, well, it's not 123456 or password, well, then maybe still they are considered default, and that is actually a security misconfiguration, which is all about the A5 OS advanced topic that we're going to cover in this video. So it's just a quick shout out. We're doing the task here on Campfire Security, and I already have the lab opened. Let's just access it right now. Click allow to allow copy pasting, and we have the lab open right here. Now the information we got, we should definitely go ahead and keep that to the server and not stick too much to the task itself. So I'm not gonna bother you with reading the text today, or bore you could say. So I'm going to go straight to the task at hand and say that some people still have default credentials, the word list, and we have a word list right there, right? So we're being told that the word list is located right here. And since they forgot a slash in the start, I'm going to go ahead and just put the slashes in the front and the back. And we also got told that the usernames, passwords were exactly in those files because it is a lab. Anyways, these files contains a line-based text representation of usernames and passwords. So one per line, and they contain, the common usernames and passwords. You might think like, hey, but I still have a password. So one of the thousands going to use that. How is that going to be insecure? Well, and let me tell you, this is the video. We're going to talk about exactly why is it a bad idea to have default credentials, or just we're going to say bad credentials, right? So we don't know the actual IP address of the server. We have been giving a domain. Well, first of all, I'm going to do this as a pen test because we don't know exactly what we're up against, not 100%. We also are not 100% sure what is going on right now. We are in the task being told that we could do stuff with Wireshark and so on and so on. We could do that. I'm going to start up the terminal and use this as a typical use case of a normal pen test. So we are trying to pen test something. This is the actual server. And we know that the task is probably easiest solved by using, well, in the start, something called Metasploit. And if you know that, that's a big framework containing many thousands of different exploits we can use. And what exactly we're going to do with those, I'm not sure. But what we're going to do right now is open a terminal. And we're going to go ahead and zoom in just a bit so we better can see our small texts on the screen. And I'm going to go ahead and do a ping on this particular fine. Now, the reason I'm doing that is to get the IP address. And since I already have the IP address, I'm going to copy paste it out and put that down here on a line of itself. With that IP address, I'm going to go ahead and run a normal in-map scan just to see what is going on in the server. And I'm not getting any hits right now. So what the difference you should go ahead and do is to run a full port scan using the tag p tag to verify whether there is other open ports. And I do get actually two different open ports. First one is for the MQTT insecure server using port 1883. And the secure MQTT is very convenient to call them that. Anyways, this is a task using port 8883. Okay, so we know that the secure MQTT server is probably not the one we're going to go ahead and attack. Of course, this is a insecure default password, unencrypted traffic going on port 1883 using the MQTT protocol. Now, what we could do right now is just to try and attack this MQTT server, which definitely should be something we should do. Now, we're already in the task before this one. I'm going to go ahead and show you exactly what I mean. The first task here called unsecure IoT traffic. We actually listened for traffic using Wireshark, and if I'm not mistaken, this is probably the same server because why not reuse? So I'm not going to go ahead and open Wireshark in this particular task, but we could do that to sniff whatever traffic there is. Now, the thing we're going to do here is, and I'm sorry that I only have the task solved because when I did this video, it was like a week ago, I was interrupted, and have to cancel the video, and I totally forgot everything about it, and I restarted my computer. The recording was lost, and I have actually solved it. So what I'm really going to do is just to show you exactly what's going on, and how it's done, and well, pasting in the flag. It's the only thing I cannot do, but it's the same thing I have to do. Okay, so what I will do now is to go ahead and basically just open MSF console, and MSF console is the name for Metasploit console. MSF is Metasploit, and whenever you open Metasploit, you will get this beautiful ASCII art, which is different every time you load it. Now, this version here holds 2049 exploits. And these exploits can be delivered using different kind of ways. And they do have auxiliary scans, post stuff, payloads, encoders, knobs, and evasion techniques for those nifty firewalls. Now, what we're going to go ahead and do is go ahead and search now, type MQTT, because we know it's the MQTT server. We're probably going to go ahead and find default username and passwords for. Now, there's one here is an auxiliary scanner for MQTT Connect. Normal ranking. It basically just means that it's probably just a brute force trying to guess, verify whether username or password is the correct one. So let's go ahead and type use, and 0 is also written down here how to do it. So use, the first one is 0, press enter, and then type show options. I'm going to go ahead and, by experience, make this window just a tad bigger so we can really see what's going on. You will see what I mean. With an S, of course. So now we have this here. We can see that we have the whole window, as I told you, with options. And what we need to do here is to fill out the one saying yes. We're not doing anonymous login. We don't have blank passwords. Brute force speed 5, which is okay. We're going to use a pass file and a user file containing usernames, 1 per line, and a password containing passwords, 1 per line. The remote host is the IP address, the port is correct, and we're going to stop on success. Go ahead and type set, and then pass file. I'm going to go ahead and copy paste the password file right there. Put that in, press enter, type set. What I'm doing here is a trick. Many of you probably haven't, well, I hope not, but I'm going to mark thing that I need to copy paste, hold down shift and press insert. And that's going to insert the text directly on the screen where my cursor is, the one I have marked with my mouse or the keyboard if that's possible. And that's a really great way to ensure that you get the whole name. It's just an attack of speed. If you can double click things, it's just easier. So type that and type true. And we also need to set the rhost. So we're type set rhost, and then we're going to go take the IP address, paste that in, go ahead now and type show options one more time to verify you put everything in correctly. So we have the password file right there. It's a Unix password file. We have the remote host IP address, the port is correct. We're going to stop the brute force, the try of logging in with the correct username and password whenever we have a successful pair. And we have a user file here. It is also correct. What we can go ahead and do now is go ahead and type run to run this script, or we can go ahead and type exploit. It's a bit more fun. Now, this can take a while depending on how many username and passwords there is. I'm going to go ahead and start this, and it will stop on success. Now, this looks like a casual and very normal brute force, just a for loop if we can code it. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is to pause the video and get back right when we found the correct password. All right, so as you can see, the script starts at, I don't know exactly, attempt number doesn't tell, but because the username and the password right there, a successful login. Now, this script itself we used on Metasploit doesn't directly connect to the MQTT server. It's just, a connect attempt script. Now, that's probably a bit misleading when you look at the name of connect, but depending on how the scripts work in Metasploit, well, we get different results and use cases out of it. So what we're going to do right now is to go ahead and try and connect to it using another kind of tool called Mosquito. Now, the thing about MQTT servers is that they rely on the subscription and publish mechanism, which basically enable people to subscribe to them, and it's going to be pushed out messages directly to the subscribers. So what we're going to go ahead now is just try and subscribe to it and see what really happens, because then maybe we can get some messages from it. And I'm thinking this is a lab, and since I already did this before, I know what will happen, but I'm going to keep the mysterious vibe open and say what in Lord's name going to happen whenever I subscribe to it, right? Let's go ahead and type exit here. And, I have already in my cheat sheet, the actual command we need to use. It's a mosquito sub command. Let's go ahead and paste it in just in the top here of the current username and password. The thing about this script is that, the command mosquito sub is that it says like, okay, so the IP address we're going to go ahead and do subscription to is this right here. The port is correct. The user is called operator, and the password is called Catalina, and T is for whatever topic you're going to subscribe on, and the hashtag means all topics. So we don't really care about naming a topic because we literally do not know the names of the topics. So just everything, and these forward those. So go ahead and copy paste this now and paste that into the console and press enter. What we're going to go ahead and wait for now is already happening on the screen. Is you're going to get these outputs. One of them is called unsecure IoT traffic, and the other one is called why not to use default. So that is the correct flag, one right there, because the one other flag we're looking at right here is the one for the other task that we can actually intercept in Wireshark. And that is one of the reasons that I didn't really want to do that, because in this particular task, we are tasked to go ahead and check out default passwords and usernames. Now, we're going to stop this. So this is a nifty small tool, mosquito sub. If you go ahead and just type that into the terminals, if you type it correctly, just like that, you will definitely go ahead and get that you must specify a topic to subscribe to, and basically go ahead and access the help to see the usage. And of course, there are a lot of different kind of information you can arguments you can fill out. It's just a simple MQTT client that will subscribe to a set of topics and print all messages that it receives. So basically, it's just a socket connection, that directly communicates with a simple server. It's an MQTT server, a lightweight protocol, and then it will output whatever it gets back from the MQTT server. And hence, this is how we actually got connected, and we prove that we have connection, the right username and password. Solving this task is to prove that we have correct password and username, and that is only given to us. That particular way of prove it is to get the output the right flag. So we already got that. That is why I've solved it over here already. So basically, whenever you have servers online and you're using some basic username and passwords, go ahead and not do that, because that really matters. And I know you're probably gonna think, well, but these passwords inside this file, we can take a look at them. If this is what we want to do, go and type nano and paste it in and go ahead and check it out. And many of you probably think, but these passwords here, how insecure are they? Well, usually passwords is something like SpongeBob, or some of the longer ones here, Alejandra or Alejandro, and all the other kind of Hello Kitty and I love you too. People use them a lot, and think they are, I'm safe. No one gonna guess this, because this is like a weird one, but it's not really a weird one. It's just, the top keyboard Q. If you down the keyboard like I know right now, so it's like Q, W, E, R, T, and you just take your keyboard all the way to the right, right? So it's not really a good and secure password, because they are in common lists that are used for brute forcing. And that is the problem with these passwords. They're not really that cool. Of course, the ones like lover and single and la la la, that is not really good. So they are, of course, really short. So for now, this is the room. We solved it. And as always, if you have any questions, just leave them below. If anything you want to ask, also leave them below as a comment. If you want to subscribe to the channel, it would help me a lot to grow this channel. And also click the bell notifications whenever I upload a new video. So have a really nice day and see you again. Bye.